Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
Can you imagine a round of golf lasting almost 6 hours?
What would you do?
I'd leave. I'd walk off.
Like on 13, you'd be like, this has been a 4-hour round.
How about the fifth hour? Well, you know, if the company was good, maybe 4.5. 4.5's a long time to spend with anybody. Let's just be honest. 4.5 hours is a long time to spend with anybody.
There it is.
Comes down
there it is.
That's what
we
it
just
comes
learned
down.
a lot about Chuck right there.
Yeah, that's why this show is only 3 hours.
Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "Let's turn on the Chuck and Bo show."
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
I spent the weekend fielding texts from Bart and Edward complaining about the circus at the Party Animals / Savannah Bananas outing at Baum Walker Stadium. But by the end of the weekend, I think it was all smiles. But there for a moment, it wasn't great.
It was the Lord of the Flies situation.
We left you on Friday. There was a lot of excitement in the air about going to see the Party Animals.
Yeah.
Friday night, I was getting texts. They're only letting them in one entrance.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Now, Bart is not accustomed to anything other than VIP treatment.
That's not true.
That's right.
I am a man of the people.
Red carpet and velvet ropes.
That's not true at
Or
all.
what I think of Bart outings.
Oh, okay.
And so this wasn't that, clearly, for you.
No.
Treated as a common citizen, Bart took to texting friends to emotionally make his way through the wait in line. By the way,
What a wait it was.
I relate to that in terms of I don't want to stand in line and wait for.
Well, I mean, look.
Not that anybody does, but I'll go to great lengths to avoid it.
It was a very bad system.
It goes beyond standing in line.
Yeah.
It goes beyond that.
Well, I'm here for it.
It was
Just
very bad.
By all means, jump in.
The rest of the night was outstanding. Like the whole thing, the whole production was a lot of fun. That was the worst thing I've ever seen at any sort of sporting event. The get in situation, get in the door.
The entering the building situation.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, can you explain what happened?
So basically, every single person going to the game had to enter through the gate behind home plate. There were none of the other gates to Baum Walker Stadium, of which there are several, were open. So this was a huge line.
And there was a lot of people.
Yeah,
a lot of people.
I mean, a full stadium, like as many people as would be at a super regional game at Baum Walker. And so the line stretched all the way around the stadium to the hog pen entrance, where you would normally go in to get into the hog pen. Just a massive swath of people trying to make their way toward the home plate entrance of Baum Walker Stadium to be able to get in.
So
it was a human crush.
What
of
happened?
sorts.
By the way, if you're unsure what we're talking about, the Party Animals, which is part of the Savannah Bananas organization, played the Texas Tailgaters. This is like a tour. It's like a little bit like the Harlem Globetrotters. It's baseball, and it's a different kind of baseball. There are trick plays and
it was cool.
It's a show.
It was really neat.
And all this, and we're going to hear about that. But they came to Baum Walker Stadium. It's been a much anticipated event, sold out event. And Bart shows up, Edward shows up in a different vehicle. Y'all didn't ride together.
We did not know.
Chuck would be proud. Chuck's not here today. He's on assignment, coming back from a long weekend of shenanigans.
And that's the assignment.
That we'll hear about on Tuesday.
Or
the
won't.
assignment is bring the stories back with you.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what we want to hear. That'll be tomorrow's show. But you guys showed up at Baum Walker on Friday night all excited, and you went, whew.
Yeah.
You pulled up.
Yeah, it was Cal. Go.
You're like, oh, my.
Yeah.
You're like,
Woof. Woof.
Yeah.
that's what happened.
Well, and at first, when I got in line, I didn't know what was going on. I was like, "What's happening? Do they have like?"
It almost
a gate?
seemed like there was some kind of weather delay because they didn't even let people in.
Right,
Until,
and
until
there
it
might
was
have
supposed
there
to
might have
start.
been
Yeah.
there might have been, and perhaps that is
It was
attributed
raining
to
in
this.
the area.
But
I
but
don't
I
know
will
what was
I will
going
tell
on.
you this: at any sporting event in the history of humankind, a one gate situation is not an ideal situation.
What about non-humankind?
That I
What
can't
about that?
speak to. Eventually, they opened some of the other gates because, like, I don't know who made that decision, but a decision was apparently
They
made.
did. We went through one of the open gates, and as soon as they started setting up the metal detectors, it was like a mad rush to that gate, and then we all stood there for 20
Yeah.
minutes
Somebody
until
made a
they
mistake.
opened that gate.
Yeah, somebody made a mistake. But you eventually, I don't understand any of that. That doesn't, like, somebody missed a.
Yeah, somebody
Communication point.
I'd never wanted to see the landmark yellow jacket people as much as I did.
It was somebody else running security.
I didn't
the
see any.
ushers,
I didn't
all
see
that.
any landmark.
Yeah,
or,
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure who was running the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got in.
Yes, eventually got in.
It was also like 150 degrees standing
was-
in line.
it was
And
very
everybody was shoulder to shoulder.
yeah.
That sounds
10,000
awful.
people. It was awful.
Sweaty,
That sounds
people,
standing
just
still.
sweaty masses.
Yeah.
I'm
standing
not sure I
still.
would stay.
Yeah.
Did you, think about leaving?
You actually might have left, Bo.
I
I'm
thought
gonna be real
about leaving
honest.
because we had the 1-year-old with
Yeah.
us, and he was losing his mind.
well, you were
Because it was so hot. It was so hot. We were standing still, and
Yes.
he was having a hard time.
Yeah.
But we got in. It worked out. Yeah.
Well, what a lesson at one.
Yeah. I'm sure one that he'll remember.
hang in there, son. I'll keep holding you. That is the worst, man.
Yeah.
When you've got kids and it's like that. I mean, it's hard enough just to get your own self together in that situation and just hang in there. Yeah. He's reliving it right now.
That was exasperation right there.
Well,
Yeah,
Hannah, my lovely bride, she was holding him because she was the only one who could calm him down. Everyone else, wasn't
That
happening.
wasn't happening.
Yeah.
All right,
Grandparents, everything.
So real quick, you got in. How long did it take? There's no real quick. How long did it take to get in?
I mean, I feel like I was.
You were
standing
in
there
line
for
well
at
before
least
us, 'cause
30
we saw-
at least 30
we
minutes.
were driving in, and we saw Bart walking and giggling to the stadium. He was pointing at us. He saw us.
He
was laughing. He was jovial. It all went downhill.
It
When he hit
all
the
It
line.
all
Yeah.
changed.
when he saw the line.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so then what happened? Let's get this story moving.
Once inside and once everything started,
So would it take 30 minutes to get in?
at least.
Okay.
At least.
All right.
It was a great time. It was a lot of fun. Like they do put on a show,
delivered.
and it's fast moving, and like it keeps going. Like there's no pitch clock, but I think the pitches are being thrown quicker than a pitch clock would even make them throw pitches. Because there's a time limit, a set time limit for the game. Like this thing's not going to go longer than 2 hours. That's part of their rules and everything. And it was just a lot of fun. It was cool. It was different.
Peyton Hillis took it at bat. I
He
saw.
did. He did. Yep.
I was
He did.
surprised.
It was random.
Yeah, it was
They just
extremely
they
random.
just started playing Peyton Hillis highlights on the video board, and next thing you know, he was at bat, and then first pitch ground out, and then he was gone, and that was it. It was like 45 seconons total of Peyton Hillis, and then it was never mentioned again. It was really random.
And then at one point, a Darren McFadden highlight played on the video board, and everybody got really excited. And then there was no Darren
Yeah.
McFadden, but whatever.
Pump fake.
Yeah.
They got you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad it was fun. That's great. I haven't really heard much. I was kind of I was away for the weekend. Was well, not away. I was in Conway, which is kind of away. It's away from here.
Yeah.
And also, I forget
The central part of the state.
I forget, how much hotter it can get in the central part of our state, the River Valley.
Swampy.
Oh, boy, it was hot. And So spent a lot of time indoors. Had a great weekend though. Some
And there
great
you go.
people. But I wasn't standing in line like that. And we can't wait to hear about Chuck's trip. It's going to be exciting. When he gets back.
Is it though?
Well,
I don't think
that's what I'm going for.
he still hasn't told me where he is. So
That's what I'm going for. Friday, I was at lunch. I was at the Springdale Country Club in a meeting at lunch in the restaurant. And a guy walks up to me and he goes, 4-8 or 5-7?
oh,
That's it. No greeting. No how are you? Hey, how's Chuck? Where's that Bart or Edward cat? Are they here? It's just kind of look at me. I'm sitting down talking to other people. 4 and 8, 5 and 7.
Like somebody just interrupted your lunch?
Well, it wasn't rude. Like it wasn't
okay.
like. But my point is that was the entire conversation. Like the entry to the conversation. That was it. So I'm like, oh, this is where we are now. People are talking about records. It's like a greeting. 4 and 8. So now today, when you walk up to somebody, instead of saying hi or introducing yourself, just be like, throw out a record.
Oh, okay.
And that's where we're that close to the season. We're so close to the season. I was texting with Tim Brando last night about being on the show today, and he said, "Oh, Bo, it's week 0. I got to get ready." I go, well, maybe if you quit posting videos of yourself playing golf on Twitter and you were working more on the games, you'd have time to come on random shows like ours. He's like, we'll do it in a couple of weeks. Timmy B, baby. Timmy B.
So true.
And it's football season. I don't know who does this or why it happens, but I can't. It doesn't matter. I know also the clock is wrong. But every Monday we come in and the light has moved, which, by the way, I mean, it was perfectly positioned so I would look better. Now, every time it moves over there, I look worse. I don't know. I have no idea if that's true.
Well,
Can you see it now, or does it need to move more?
Here's how. You ready? I'm looking at a clock. I'm staring directly into a light. Now I can see it. Yeah, that works for us, doesn't it?
yeah. That's great.
No. Gosh.
That's great.
You guys, that thing.
Look,
really
there's a
threw you
lot
for a
going
loop.
on over here in the.
Yeah, a whole lot.
Well, it's now a multi-purpose studio. You know, there's more than one show going on in here.
Yeah, there is, but I don't understand because this camera's still here and that light works. For this
I don't.
camera.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to the light.
Why the light moves?
You've got
I don't
a great
know.
point. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know what we're doing. Why don't we start the show next?
That'd be great.
I mean, it was like such a just a loathing story about getting into the Party Animals game, and we went nowhere with that. We got to do better. We'll come back with real sports news. Arkansas had a scrimmage, and they were explosive on offense. What does that mean? What do we learn from the scrimmage? We'll get into that. 877-377-6963. It's Monday. We're trying to pull ourselves back into the work week. You got to get up. You got to go. Let's go. Go get up, win the day. Hey, I'm sorry if this makes too much sense. I am more than happy to hear where I'm off on this.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Are you looking for tough, reliable equipment from people you can trust? WT Equipment is your local family-owned dealership with 8 locations across Arkansas. And yep, they're big-time hog fans too. From Bobcat to New Holland, Hustler, Steel, and more, they carry the brands you know and trust to get the job done. Whether it's equipment or implements, WT Equipment has the tools you need, including a full lineup of Bobcat machines built for power and performance. Stop by your nearest WT Equipment today.
Buying or selling a home's a big deal, and you want someone who is with you every step of the way. That's why those of us at the Chuck and Bo Show wholeheartedly recommend Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, because we've experienced it. They've been my partners for life. They're Bo's partner now, and I promise you, when you become involved with Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, they'll become your partners for life too. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can always log on and check out their selection at WeicherGriffin.com.
If you haven't tried a flight by Yingling, you're missing out on the great taste of Yingling that is a light beer. It's the next generation of light beer. Get it on draft, in the can, the new skinny cans, and now the new 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle. Perfect for any occasion. It's just 95 calories, and you're still enjoying a Yingling. Take your beer game to new heights with Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
The
two best guys in mediocre sports radio.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
This is talking season, but this has nothing to do with what I'm saying. Y'all know me. I think we've got a good football team. I think we've got a really good football team.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
All right, so they had a scrimmage over the weekend and a lot of explosive plays, apparently, on offense. They had the number one offense going against the number two defense, and then the number two offense going against the number one defense. And I think, obviously, the number one defense fared a little bit better. There's, when you see this stuff, you don't know what to think about what it really means. And for me, I'm always excited that the offense is scoring points. I feel like defense is going to show up more when you go play a real game, because you're not, I know they were tackling, but they haven't really been tackling. It's so hard to practice in today's world and for a defense to be at the physical level you want them to be at, try to keep guys healthy. The worst thing you can see right now is guys getting injured and not making it to the first game. But whatever we want to take away from the defense, what I continue to take away is this should be a pretty good offense. They should score points. They should be pretty explosive. And obviously that starts with Taylor and, Bobby Petrino coming back year two. Somebody asked Pitman a question, by the way, in the news conference afterwards, and it did not go very well.
And then a lot of talk about, year two under Bobby. I guess maybe year 6 under you doesn't sound quite as exciting to the eye, but I guess have you...
What is this guy trying to say? What is he trying to say here with this question? Let's listen.
And then a lot of talk about, year...
by the way, I have no idea who this is.
I have no idea.
No clue.
I don't recognize that.
And then a lot of talk about, year 2 under Bobby. I guess maybe year 6 under you doesn't sound quite as exciting to the eye, but I guess have you learned anything that... I guess, sorry.
Was there a question in there?
Yeah,
what the hell are we doing?
Sorry. I guess, is there anything new that you've learned about yourself that you're looking to take into this year? I guess I should just lead with that.
What was that? What is this guy saying? What is he trying to say? Is he trying to make a point about a lack of excitement around Pitman? Or did he find himself in no man's land with nowhere to go? Or
probably a mixture of both.
I mean, was he really trying to ask that question at the end? Have you
No, I don't
learned
think
anything
so.
about yourself that you're going to take into this season?
I don't think that was the.
Did you learn anything about yourself over the weekend that you plan on taking into today's show? Have you this is
And then a lot of talk about, year 2 under Bobby. I guess maybe year 6 under you doesn't sound quite as exciting to the eye, but I guess have you learned anything that I guess sorry.
Was there a question in
The
there?
video's
What
way
the hell we
better.
doing?
The video's
I guess-
good.
Is there anything new that you've learned about yourself that you're looking to take into this year? I guess I should just lead with that.
Yeah.
I found who asked the question.
Okay.
I'm not going to say the name, but their Twitter bio does include freelance for best of Arkansas sports.
Oh yeah. Well, there you go. That's tough. But I do feel like Chuck talks about this, and I think people. Go ahead.
I can't.
So
I can't.
Chevy, a Fayetteville situation
I
where
can't-
Bart has to speak.
Well, I can't get over to the eye. Doesn't sound as appealing to the eye.
That's a phrase.
I don't know what that means.
You don't say that all the time?
No, I don't.
Does it look as appealing to the eye or
Well,
sound as
listen.
appealing to the ear?
Listen.
I think we're mixing up our senses.
I'll say this. There are people that get behind microphones like this one right here and have a lot of things to say, and they've never or hardly ever or won't now go ask a question at a press conference. And that guy at least had the courage to try to ask a question. And I emphasize the word try. But because that was a struggle, and I'm not trying to make fun of him. I'm really asking, where was he going? What was he trying to accomplish with the question? I'm going to go with there is this thing where people get excited about Petrino and the offense, and they're not excited about Sam Pitman as the head coach. And I understand some of it from the aspect that you haven't been setting the world on fire with your record. Now, you have won games, and you have in 5 years, you've won 3 bowl games. You've had 2 bad seasons. The first one I don't think is a bad season because you're taking over a 4-20 football team. The absolute worst 2-year head coaching job that's ever been done in the history of the school. You then, at the same time, simultaneously walk into COVID, and you play, remind me, an entirely SEC schedule and go 3-7, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, I look at that year as whatever. That's not a resume indicator to me. So then you go to the next year, and you win 9 games. And then since that time, you've had 1 losing season. Okay, so 3 out of the last 4 years, you've been to bowl games. So if you're trying to tell me that you're not excited about Pittman because he hasn't done a good job, I would argue that he has done a good job. Has he done a great job? No, because great would probably mean that they had another 9-win season in there instead of a 6-win season. Has it been perfect? No, but that's most of college football. So what is the comparison, or what is the reason that when you view Pittman, you get excited about Petrino calling the offense, but you don't get excited about Pittman as the head coach? And I don't think people can even get into this conversation and really have it. I don't hear people actually having it. It's just so surface level. And it's like going into year 6, we're just, not as exciting to the, how did he say it? One more time.
And then a lot of talk about, year 2 under Bobby. I guess maybe year 6 under you doesn't sound quite as exciting to the eye, but I guess have you...
So so why isn't that exciting? That's my question. What people have said on social media about this, which is whatever, but I think some of the reaction is like, oops, slips out how everybody feels. Or how other people feel.
I'm guessing what he was trying to say is that, people are really excited about year 2 under Bobby Petrino as the offensive coordinator and seeing where Taylon Green is. And I think he probably could have just stopped there.
Yeah. But there's a reason he didn't.
Right.
And it was whether it was subconscious or conscious.
Right.
There's a reason. And I think it's more conscious. And what Chuck had said multiple times last week and has before is college football fans primarily base their hope meter on their opinion of the head coach, their feeling about the head coach. And when Petrino was here, they remember the success.
That's right.
Of 2 years, 21-5. They forget the first year of 5-7, and they forget some years that Petrino had after getting back into coaching at Louisville where things didn't go well. And they forget that the recruiting class that he had when he came here, he had nothing to do with most of it. Held them together. Tim Horton kind of held that together. And, you know, we have selective memories on but we get an idea in our head, and that's what we base this hope on. But I would just challenge you, like if you want to care about, like you do care about how the season's going to go. Like there's way more to look at than just this feeling of this guy's going into year 6, and I don't know if that excites me. I think they could have a really good year. I think they could surprise a lot of people. But we won't know until they go play. Andy Staples coming up from On3. He's got his own college football podcast, national college football reporter. We'll get into the happenings that are coming here in week 0 and some big stuff that happened over the weekend next. Chuck's out today at 6:28. Good morning. Chris in Fayetteville. You're on the news, weather, information station.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, we're full service, baby.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Some moments call for more than just a win. They call for unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you're not just buying a diamond. You're creating an experience that starts the moment you walk through the door. Their newly remodeled space is absolutely stunning, and Cafe B has a personal touch you won't find anywhere else. Their in-house diamond expert makes it easy to find the perfect piece for any occasion, and that purple bag is still undefeated when it comes to saving the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's your story.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, price check with Paschal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing you chose the best option for your home. Visit gopaschal.com and with just a few clicks, see how much you can save with the Paschal price check. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
Today's been a strange day.
Yeah, we've had some struggles here. Let's just be blunt. Can we be blunt?
Well, it's 50-50 at best.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Good morning, sir. Anybody that says sleep's overrated is not 66 years old, I'm going to tell you right now.
Boy, you're not lying.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Chuck's out today. He'll be back tomorrow. Andy Staples, National College Football host, reporter on 3, the Andy and Ari podcast. Great college football conversation happening there daily at 7 a.m. Central, 8 Eastern on live on YouTube, and then you can get it on podcast wherever you get podcasts. Andy, great to have you on again. Good morning. Hope you're well.
Well, Bo, we changed our time slot, so not live on YouTube anymore at 7 a.m. Central. Thank goodness. It's not now. Every episode drops at 2 p.m. Central. So
well, that's a good move.
Your guy on the bumper talking about how great sleep is.
Yeah,
I actually get some now.
Yeah,
so.
It's a deal, man. It's a game changer. Have your producer, whomever does work for Andy Staples, go on Spotify and change it. Give me an update because I just read it off Spotify.
You got it. The great River Bailey will be changing that today.
Now, do not go to any of my profiles. I look like I'm 32 in my profile picture. I don't think I've changed it in like 15 years, so I'm not being critical. And we all need to spend some time updating.
I think you're ageless, Bo. I mean,
yeah.
I've seen you recently. Like, you don't look any different.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it. I'm wearing a ball cap and some facial hair to kind of try to, just fight it all off. But we're about done with empty Saturdays, right? We went through our last empty Saturday of no college football. Maybe we could start talking about games, Andy, but then I saw the Big Ten. What is this proposal? The Big Ten wants all of college football in the playoff now.
Well, basically, this was sort of one of those no bad ideas, back of the napkin things.
Yeah.
Where the Big Ten commissioner is like, I have this idea that nobody likes, so I'm going to double down with a worse idea. And he said, okay, well, why don't we expand the college football playoff to 24 or 28 teams? And somebody who he told, and it's because basically it hadn't really been talked about outside the Big Ten. So somebody in the Big Ten sounded the alarm and leaked this. This patriot said, we're going to snuff this idea out in the crib and make sure once the wider world heard about it, everybody's like, it's the worst idea ever. So hopefully just exposing it to the light of day will make sure that doesn't happen. And look, I'm a person who always thought that the playoffs should get bigger, but I always thought there was an upper limit to how big it should be.
Right.
I think they're there. I think 12's fine. I would be okay with 16 because it doesn't add a round. Like you would add 4 more games in the first round. But don't go any bigger than that. Like the thing college football needed when it had the BCS or when before the BCS when you're just voting on who you thought was the best team was they needed something where the best teams would be forced to play at the end of the season. They got that now. But it's telling that even before the 12-team playoff play day down, they were already trying to change the format again. And I thought last year was fun. I'd say let's roll with that for a little while and see what happens, which if they can't agree on something, they probably are going to roll with it for a little bit longer. So maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah, I think the adjustments they made, with the seating, that's what we all wanted to see happen. And now let's go there and see what year one under that format looks like. Same format, but different seating. I don't know if a lot of people in your position from a national perspective spend time thinking about this, but sitting in this chair talking to Arkansas fans and thinking about where most of college football is outside of the traditional powers, is there a way? Is there a doable way, I guess, to make more teams feel like they have a chance going into a season? Because it seems like we're always, we're going to be talking about the same 6 or 10 teams competing for the college football playoff championship.
Then you want a 28-team playoff because more teams would feel like they had a chance.
I don't think that's the answer.
But here's the thing. I think with the 12 or if they go to 16, you will get that in places. I think in Arkansas's case right now, it just feels that way because they're kind of stuck on this plateau. But we actually had a conversation about this on the show quite a bit. I think, especially with as big as the conferences are, they can only support so many good teams at a time. And right now, Arkansas is not in that mix because Ole Miss is good, Missouri's good, and Vanderbilt's better. Like so Arkansas and Kentucky are now suffering because of this. I think it's cyclical. It'll come back around and be a situation where Arkansas can win. Like if there's a 16-team playoff, there's a 9-3 Arkansas team out there that probably gets into it at some point. And that's the thing. I think you've got to give schools like that a feeling that they do have a real chance every once in a while. I'll give you an example. So Minnesota just extended PJ Fleck's contract, and it's through 2030. And we were talking on the show about what does success mean? You know, how would you define that as a success to get to 2030? And I said if he's made the playoff once, just once, and I think that would do it. But I think with this format, you can feel that way because you can have a special season. I like with Arkansas. If we go back to the Petrino years, when he's the head coach, not now.
Yeah.
But they would have made the playoff twice in this 12-team format.
Yeah, and a couple times under Houston Nutt. You know, if we want to go back, I mean, those years have been there, and it has been cyclical. And by the way, Pitman's got a 9-win season since coming here and 3 bowl wins. He had the 3-7 COVID start off of Chad Morris. And then he had, a season where he made a bad hired offensive coordinator that fell apart and they won 4 games. But other than that, they've been going to bowls and he's won 9 games. And I think people here are like, but we gotta do something dynamic or we're not going to get there.
Well, and I understand that because that's what the Arkansas fans wrote in to us when we were talking about it on the show. Because I said, hey, you guys are probably going to grind through coaches because you expect a lot. And the situation is going to make it hard for a guy's going to win 9 games like Sam Pitman did, and then you're going to expect 10 and 11, and it's really, really hard to take that step, especially in a 16-team SEC. So that's the part. But they said, and they were right. They're like, look, it's happened before where we can be this good. But I think right now you've got Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss, you've got Eli Drinkwitz at Missouri. They're the ones doing it. From that, teams that were that traditional level. And so until they drop off or Arkansas hires their version of that, it's going to be this way.
Yeah, well, Missouri's got an easier schedule almost every year than Arkansas does.
But that may change.
Yeah. Well, again,
right now,
a good cycle. That's part of the cyclical nature you're talking about, of having the right team at the right time. Somebody else is not having a great year. I mean, it's just math. It's a math problem.
Yeah. And the other thing is the schedule thing. It doesn't look like the SEC's going to 9 games for the next couple of years because if they were, they would have probably already done that. And the clock's ticking on that. Greg Sankey said that probably by September they need to know what the playoff format's going to be, or they're going to have to just go with the 8-game schedule. If they go with the 8-game schedule, I think probably you're just going to see them flip what they've done the past couple of years, which means that the teams that had the easier schedules, which would be Missouri, Texas, Tennessee, would get the brutally hard schedules, and the teams that had the brutally hard schedules, like Arkansas, Mississippi State, Florida, Oklahoma, they would get easier ones just because of the luck of the draw.
Hey, by the way, is Ole Miss, what are they going to be this year, in your opinion? Last year, so much talk about them, and Arkansas plays them early, like the 3rd game of the season in Oxford.
So they're a really interesting one because I don't think they're going to fall off the map. Like the thought was last year's the year. This is, they went and upgraded on the D-line. They had the veteran quarterback, and that was going to be their shot to make the playoff. And then they lose to Kentucky and they lose to Florida, and they all make the playoff. But I don't think that's it for them. I don't. I really, really like Austin Simmons, their quarterback, who is, he's in his 3rd year on campus. Lane will go in the portal and get somebody if he thinks he needs somebody. He didn't even think about going in the portal for a quarterback. He loves this guy. And I think there's a chance they could be pretty good. They still did a lot of work in the portal. They didn't get that, Walter Nolan type splash out of the portal, but they got a bunch of good players. So I wouldn't be shocked if they're still in the mix for a playoff spot.
Yeah. It'll be a a tough game early for Arkansas. They got a brutal schedule, obviously.
Yeah.
But that game is like one of those pivotal things that you feel like could give you some momentum. You got to go to Memphis after that, and then Notre Dame comes in. But I feel like they really got to figure out a way to go 3-2 in that 5-game opening stretch. Andy Staples with us, the Andy at RA podcast. He said, it's going to be tough.
Well, also, just beat Arkansas State. Don't lose to Arkansas
Yeah.
State.
Well, that's another one. I mean, this schedule, and I think that's part of what Hog fans are freaking out a little bit about before the season even starts. Like, it's going to be 4-8, 5-7. I mean, I said this in the middle of summer. If they win 6 games with this schedule, I think that's a really good year. And then people want to say things, well, that's settling for mediocrity. What do you think?
I think people need to adjust their expectations to the new sizes of the conferences. Because what Oregon did last year, like going through the Big Ten undefeated, I don't think we're going to see that very often. Yeah. I just don't think teams are going to be able to do that.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be hard in the SEC and in the Big Ten. And if you get a bad draw, or in the case of Arkansas, where you have at Memphis and Notre Dame are 2 brutally hard non-conference games. I mean, that's just – you should not be thinking, we got to be 11-1 or 10-2. Like, there are going to be good years that are 8-4 and 7-5 where you were good. It's just that you've played a lot of good teams. And it's interesting because I think, Bo, when we were babies, when we were elementary school, teams played good non-conference schedules. It was understood that you just played a bunch of power conference type teams, and sometimes you lost 4 games or 5 games. Not everybody had to be undefeated. Once the BCS started, it was this race to be undefeated. So people started scheduling crap in their non-conference. And people's idea of what's good and what's not changed. And I think we got to get back to that. And it's almost like you need to embrace a more NFL-type mentality. Like, hey, if you're going to play good teams every week, and in the NFL, even the bad teams are good because of the way the rules work, you're going to take losses. Like, the idea of being able to go 11-1 or go undefeated, it's just not going to be possible for most teams.
Yeah, it's a great point. Our expectations are still in one filter, and the filter's changed, but we haven't really changed with it in the way that we think. I mean, a good and great season, we're talking about the difference in 2 games maybe in a lot of cases. I mean, that's not a lot. And that's a touchdown here, 1 possession game, swing, whatever. Andy, always great stuff. Appreciate you getting up, making time for us. We'll catch your Andy and Ari podcast wherever you get it, on Spotify, Apple, anywhere you get podcasts, and on YouTube at 2 o'clock every day, Monday through Friday. Thanks, my man.
Thanks, Bo.
Appreciate you, brother. Take care. Andy Staples, on 3. You can read his stuff there as well. One of the best college football reporters out there. I mean, I've known Andy for a long time. Does incredible work. 6:47. It's Monday morning. We're just getting started. Kids, there's never a good deal good enough with a bad person. Still a bad deal.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Chevy of Fayetteville has over 200 new vehicles on the lot right now. So if you're in the market, now's the time to make a move. That includes the brand new Chevy Traverse, the Chevy Trax, and all the favorites like the Tahoes and Suburbans. And for truck lovers, there are Silverados in stock and ready for immediate delivery. So go see Chris, Mark, Denver, and the team at Chevy of Fayetteville. Together, let's drive.
When it comes to watching games, nobody does it like Walk-Ons. Over 60 TVs at every location, and the food and drinks win. Mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine like po' boys and gumbo, plus fan favorites like the best burger you can get anywhere, and more draft beers and cocktails than you can count. Incredible food, wonderful service, and a viewing experience like none other. Walk-On Sports Bistro. We live for this.
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, if you're struggling to get your Social Security disability, or you're buried in debt thinking about bankruptcy, don't wait. You need a legal team that knows how to fight for Arkansans.
That's why you can trust Cadell Reynolds. Bill Reynolds and his team know how to get results when it matters most. Whether it's personal injury, disability, or bankruptcy, they've got your back.
Dial 866-314-3728 or visit CadellReynolds.com today.
Cadell Reynolds. Make the right call. There's simply not a better shopping experience than Macadoodles. Looking for the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits? Macadoodles or Guess Who in Bentonville has you covered. With an unbeatable selection, amazing prices, and service that's unbeatable, they've got everything you need. Whether you're stocking up for a party, updating your bar, or just grabbing your favorites, Roger and the team are always there to help. Make the smart choice. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista at the state line, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
Why deal with the stress of commercial travel when you can fly on your schedule with Jet Aircraft? No TSA lines, no baggage claim, no waiting around. Just you and your crew flying in comfort and style. Whether it's a weekend getaway, a golf trip, or planning your football travel for the fall, Jet makes it easy. Seats up to 9 with a full bar, custom catering, and plenty of space. Visit Jet NWA for pricing and more. That's Jet with 2 T's.
Hey, it's Bo, and for me, business comes down to working with people I like and can count on. And that's Teamwork Roofing and Construction. They do what they say, they're on time, and when they're done, it's like they were never there and you have a brand new roof. Built with expert craftsmanship and the best materials. When it comes to commercial or residential roofing, get the customer care Teamwork Roofing and Construction offers. Check them out on their Facebook page, Teamwork Roofing and Construction. Built on quality, powered by teamwork.
I don't need Chat GTP. I've got Chuck GTP.
Amen.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Well, it was one of the great non-marriage times of my life, I'll tell you that. To meet Chuck Berry, the only thing that's even close to is meeting Bo.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Brought to you by First Security Bank, only in Arkansas, helping you bank better every day with more convenient locations, friendly local banking. That's how you bank better. Check them out online, fsbank.com. And bank better at First Security Bank, member FDIC. I see the Varsity Vibe newsletter is out. The Varsity Vibe bulletin is right there in my inbox this morning. If you want to know what's going on in high school sports, go to varsityvibearkansas.com and subscribe. It's free. And we have launched a high school media company that's going to be covering high school sports from now until the end of time.
Wow.
Promoting high school sports, positive storytelling, recaps, previews, teams of the week, players of the week. That's really cool. I'm happy to see that. Got a podcast that also launches today.
That's right.
Varsity Vibe. You can follow Varsity Vibe on social media. Really, this is just something about giving high school communities, athletes, coaches, teams, eras, current, scores, updates that are happening now. We just don't have a consistent one-stop shop for all high school sports across the board, and now we do.
That's right. That's right, and that's what we're trying to do is shine a light on all the great stories in high school sports across our state, and bring those stories to light because they matter to these communities, and they matter to these cities and towns throughout our state. It's a big deal, and we want to make it a big deal.
Totally free.
Yeah.
It's subscription for the newsletter, but it's free. You just go to varsityvibearkansas.com, put in your email, and then it'll come to your inbox.
That's right.
Please share it with friends. I mean, this is something that we're doing to try to make our high school communities a better place. We think sports media is an amenity to sports and coverage and hearing great stories that we often don't hear until they get to college. But now, you can see them happening. Your kid, other kids, friends. VarsityVibeArkansas.com. Almost 7 o'clock on the Chuck and Bo Show.
As a play-by-play announcer, my eyes are everything. I need to see every detail on the field to call the game the right way. So when cataracts started affecting my vision, I knew I couldn't wait. I went to Dr. Betts and the team at McDonald Eye Associates. And truthfully, I wish I'd done it years ago. The difference is incredible. The whole experience was professional, easy, and honestly life-changing. If your vision's holding you back, take it from me. Don't put it off any longer. Schedule your appointment with McDonald Eye Associates today.
At the Stonebreaker Hotel, we believe in the art of gathering, whether over a thoughtfully prepared meal or a quiet moment on Markham Hill. Start your day with breakfast classics from the all-day menu, served from 7:30 to 1. Savor shareable bites from the bar and lounge menu until 10. And let the dinner menu from 5 to 9 bring familiar flavors with a fresh twist. And for a weekend well spent, how about brunch? Rooted in connection, designed for comfort. Learn more at stonebreakerhotel.com.
Oaklawn is your hot springs escape. Enjoy plush comfort, upscale dining, and Arkansas's only Forbes 4-star rated spa at our luxury hotel. And with easy access to Hot Springs National Park and sparkling lakes, Oaklawn is your home base for everything the region has to offer. Come stay, play, and get away at Oaklawn, a Forbes Travel Guide recommended hotel. Make your reservation at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Summer storms and heavy rains can sneak up fast, so make sure your gutters are ready to handle it all. Hog Trough Gutters, locally owned and operated with 30 years of experience, installs seamless gutters made on site to protect your home. They're fully licensed and insured. Every job is hydro tested, and each one comes with a 20-year warranty. Proudly serving Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. And if you're outside those areas, just give them a call or a text. Schedule your free inspection today at hoggutters.com.
So I spent yesterday, you mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The Chuck and Bo Show. Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
Did Taylon Green consult you about how to ask his then girlfriend to be his fiance?
Well, it probably would have been a lot cheaper. I asked Jamie to marry me in the pickup truck, and it didn't take too long. Hell, I was pretty sure she was going to say yes, but wasn't 100% positive. She kept it simple. She was going to say yes or no. I mean, hell, it's just a question, but I know it's,
Yeah, it's just a question.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
Driving my son to school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "What's heard on the Chuck and Bo Show?"
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Last empty Saturday. We got through it. Now we got football, Kansas State, Iowa State, and Ireland coming this Saturday. There are like 5 games this Saturday. So we'll have college football. And then we've got the week after that, we got Arkansas playing Alabama A&M. And it's going to be I'm ready for it.
It's here.
Yeah.
It's here.
Varsity Vibe launched today. High school sport. High school has already begun. When do classes begin at the U of A? Is it this week?
Today.
Today.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's
standing room only in churches yesterday. Getting around traffic.
This whole construction thing on College Avenue is going to turn into an even worse of a disaster.
Here's
real
Bart
quick.
Pullman in the Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room, civil engineering degree in hand. Tell me what we're going to do here.
I don't know.
How are we getting around town?
I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
I'm going to ask the city if we can build like a back road behind our studio to like get us out to other avenues, so we just don't have to deal with college.
Yeah,
that would be nice.
Yeah,
it'd be doable. It'd be perfectly doable. Just wrap it around the back there. Get us out to this other
Work
road
on
here.
that. Get back to us.
You can't even make a right turn out of here anymore.
Right.
It used to be the left turn was a struggle. Now you can't even.
I don't
get
know.
out. Either way.
You might still want to go right. I would definitely recommend going right and weaving your way back to whatever direction.
Oh, no, I
go.
know. I'm just saying both are extremely difficult.
Wherever you are.
Well, and people aren't.
There's construction.
People
going
just
on
aren't nice
in Northwest
either.
Arkansas.
That's part of the problem.
People
too.
aren't nice.
Like people are
Happy
going to
Monday.
people are going to block the driveway,
I
so
don't
you
know,
can't
Bart.
turn right.
I don't know. I've had a
Can't
lot
turn
of
right.
kind people let me out of the parking lot.
Well, good. I haven't.
I mean, it
I
might
haven't
take a
seen-
minute.
I haven't seen
You
those.
do get the people who do not.
Yeah.
But I
would
always
say-
find someone.
I think it's one out of every
got a
three.
good heart.
1 out of every 3, like people when the light turns red and the traffic is slowing. I think it's 1 out of every 3 people like lets you in.
I just
and that's
like
not
to-
enough.
I'd
It
like
needs to be at least
no,
2 out of 3.
No, it's not. But I think what Bart's doing is issuing a challenge this morning.
That's right.
It's
That's
Monday,
exactly what I'm
as you're
doing.
driving to school, to work, wherever you're going, take a breath, some long, deep breaths.
Mm-hmm.
Inhale slowly, exhale just as slowly. And
Edward's actually doing
5
it.
of those. And just breathe a little bit. It's going to be okay. We do have construction issues in Northwest Arkansas. I know many are listening in other parts of our great state, whether it's Harrison Mountain Home, Conway, Hot Springs, the River Valley, Russellville, Fort Smith, that we've all got our own traffic battles. But here in Fayetteville, the home of the Razorbacks, jeez, be patient.
Mm-hmm.
And on game days, you're going to want to be patient and plan, but we'll get there. And I'm glad we got football coming.
That's right.
I'm excited about that. Arkansas had a scrimmage over the weekend. Chuck's out, by the way. He'll be back. This was the plan all along. If you're watching on YouTube, you see the museum we have set up at his spot.
The only thing that's missing is like the headset on the microphone.
Well, it's over there.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you guys could put a little more work into it. Giant
we're-
sign on his seat. It says "Away on
looks like
assignment."
a memorial.
And we look forward to having Chuck
It's got
back.
the slang-o-matic.
Yeah.
We need to
Oh,
use the
Chuck
slang-o-matic more.
I don't think there's much to it.
No, I think we've gone through
We've
most
got
of
to, we got to get one that has more of a broader vocabulary of slang. That one's He got scammed on that deal.
He totally
Chuck
did.
has. Let's talk about Chuck for a second.
Great.
Chuck has a little bit of a bad habit of getting on Facebook and buying things.
Falling victim to
Yeah,
scams.
like it looks cool. He buys it.
Mm-hmm.
Then he's disappointed. It's not what he thought it was. Yeah. He hasn't been full on scammed. It's just not as good as it looked in the advertisement, kind of deal.
Yeah,
which we've been there.
Yeah,
but I'm glad he does it. It's great show content to discuss. But Chuck will be back tomorrow, and I'm sure he'll have a lot of stories. You know how forthcoming he is about his adventures. So
Always
I'm sure
sharing
we will beat it out of him.
everything.
We will beat it out of him tomorrow. Be here early because I'm sure it'll start right at 6. We will absolutely extract information from
We will
him
make him
tomorrow.
as uncomfortable
I'm
as
going to
humanly
be on
possible.
my interview A game tomorrow, and I'm going to be extracting, and he's not even going to know it. And I'm going to lure him into a conversation, and we're going to extract bits and pieces of information, and he's going to wonder what just happened. How did that just come out? How did that slip out? Because there's no adventure like a Chuck Barrett adventure. I see the Little Rock Touchdown Club starts today. 500 people expected to hear Sam Pitman.
How about that? That's
at
great.
lunch. And there's always something good that comes out of that. So we'll have that for you tomorrow. Pitman talked to the media Saturday. They had a scrimmage. And here's what he said. Here's a few things he said about it.
We're learning we have a pretty dang good group of wideouts, and we're learning Platt can get open. Something Rohan Jones can do some. Polska can do, both. We're learning a little bit more about our football team. Just because somebody was this way last year, good or bad, doesn't make him the same player. He can either be better or he can be worse. And so we're learning those things about our team a little bit more and in tough situations. And I feel really good about the team. I feel great about our punting, our kicking, our returners. It's really good to have Shanks back. I think our special teams are going to add really a lot of value to us. So we're learning all that about our football team. But luckily we're learning in a good way that how we feel about our team.
One of the names that we've heard the most, maybe not the most, but it's the best thing that maybe if you had to pick one player that you've heard more good things about this player than anybody else, who would that player be? A new name.
Mike.
Yeah. Mike Washington, the running back from New Mexico State.
Mike Washington seems to, in live ball, he seems to make long runs. Today happened to be a 91. I think his second run today was maybe 32 or something like that. So obviously there's doing a good job up front, but he's also doing a good job of breaking tackles and has tremendous speed.
I mean, I'm looking forward to watching him. I think the offense is going to be salty. I think they're going to be pretty good. They've made the moves I believe they had to make on the offensive line. Fernando Carmona Jr., they call him Junior, moved in from left tackle to left guard. Corey Robinson's that left tackle now that we've talked about from Georgia Tech that had such good numbers in pass protection last year where Arkansas really struggled. They went out and addressed a need, and I'd say addressed it at a really high level. But Carmona was asked after the scrimmage or was talking about just where the offense is.
We are way ahead where we were last year. And I think it starts with Taylon Green and his decision-making, and then it kind of goes down to the offense line of giving time for Taylon. And then from there, I have ultimate trust in the wide receivers that we have in our tight ends. And, it just kind of, it's obviously starts up front, then Taylon taking care of the right reads. Yeah, no, we're a lot better. I really don't know exactly what to pinpoint it. Maybe the leadership, maybe us coming back for the second year, but it's exciting offense. You guys are going to really enjoy it.
I don't know exactly where they are on defense. I know Sori's been out a little bit. Xavier did not participate in Saturday scrimmage. I love where the offense is. The defense, I think they're going to be fine. And I'm interested to see them play in a live game, but on both sides of the ball. But Sori had a procedure, had to rest for about 5 days. So he did not participate in the scrimmage, but it doesn't sound like anything that's going to keep him out for an extended period of time. Now you just try to keep everybody healthy and get them to, the first game. I mean, this opening stretch, Alabama A&M, it's a little bit probably like Pine Bluff last year, but I'm still interested to see them get out and, play a game. And then it's Arkansas State, and that game's going to feel bigger because of who the opponent is, not necessarily because of the talent level. But, Arkansas State's going to punch above their head that day, and that'll be a good thing for Arkansas to face. And then obviously, that's when it really gets real. When you got to get through that game. I'm not worried about Arkansas in that game, but you definitely have to have a focus and not be thinking about Ole Miss the next week. And then after you play Ole Miss, you definitely have a focus at Memphis and not be thinking about Notre Dame the next week. I mean, it's a tall task to go, really, for anybody. We look at everything from an Arkansas perspective, but when you can put somebody else, like just take another team and give them that schedule, if you evaluate it like that, 3-2 in those 5 games is a heck of a start. Well, and it's not where you want to. You'd rather be 5-0, but if you're just trying to be realistic about the gauntlet, you don't want to get through that 5-game stretch with any more than 2 losses. And I know that's a mouthful. Like, you don't want to have 2 losses. But there's got to be some realistic things that we talk about here, right? And I'm going to get into this in a second. But you had a thought, Bart.
Well, I hadn't really thought about it until just now, and I don't think a lot of people have thought about it or spent a lot of time thinking about it. But you play 5 games in the month of September, right? And 3 of those are away from Razorback Stadium. That's a tough way to start the season. It doesn't matter who you're playing or like which teams you're playing. But then you add into the fact that it's a game that has never happened before, that people in the state have been clamoring for against Arkansas State. It's a game at an Ole Miss team that has, that series between the Hogs and the Rebs has produced as many wild games as any series. And then you go to Memphis the week after that, a team that's going to be favored to win their conference, or at least in the mix to win their conference, and potentially get that automatic spot in the college football playoff. Now they're replacing a longtime starting quarterback too, have a lot of turnover, but have one of the best portal classes among non-Power 5 schools in the country. That's a tough way to start any season, regardless of who the opponents are. You add in the opponents, and it makes it that much more difficult.
Yeah, 5 games, and really, when you talk, let's eliminate the Alabama A&M game. So 3 of the 4 most meaningful games on your schedule
are right at the start,
are out of or off campus.
Yeah, right at the start and off campus.
And the one that is Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Can Arkansas start fast this year? I mean, that's something they don't have the luxury of really doing.
That's it.
Anything else. Hey, we've been talking about Teamwork Roofing. Really good people that have been in the roofing business now for just this year. But the work they're doing and the people that are noticing has been really fun to watch because of who they are, what they're about, who you're going to deal with, what you get. They know the roofing business. A lot of roofers that were at other places, but now being together in a situation where it's all about teamwork and built on quality. A Teamwork Roofing and Construction should be somebody you consider if you're getting your roof redone, a new roof on, a new house, a commercial situation, residential, commercial, it doesn't matter. And it's not just Arkansas, but they started right here in Arkansas. They're about Arkansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, Tennessee, all of those places, helping people with their roofs. Using the highest quality materials to ensure long-lasting performance and peace of mind. They've got a website, teamworkbuilt.com, and you can check out Teamwork Roofing on Facebook, videos, pictures of the work they've done. Their goal is to leave no nail behind, to do the job the way that they said they would do it, give you the quality work, and then at the end of it all, it's like they were never even there. So Teamwork Roofing and Construction, built on teamwork, built on quality, powered by teamwork. Again, the website, teamworkbuilt.com.
Built.com. You need a new roof? Those are the people, the good people, that'll help you out. All right, Monday, it's 7:16. If you want to weigh in, 877-377-6963, as we are 1 week away from game week. If you need an emergency contact, just write the Chuck and Bo Show. We'll be your emergency contact.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Buying or selling a home's a big deal, and you want someone who is with you every step of the way. That's why those of us at the Chuck and Bo Show wholeheartedly recommend Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, because we've experienced it. They've been my partners for life. They're Bo's partner now, and I promise you, when you become involved with Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, they'll become your partners for life, too. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can always log on and check out their selection at WeicherGriffin.com.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, price check with Paschal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing you chose the best option for your home. Visit GoPaschal.com and with just a few clicks, see how much you can save with the Paschal Price Check. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
Why deal with the stress of commercial travel when you can fly on your schedule with Jet Aircraft? No TSA lines, no baggage claim, no waiting around. Just you and your crew flying in comfort and style. Whether it's a weekend getaway, a golf trip, or planning your football travel for the fall, Jet makes it easy. Seats up to 9 with a full bar, custom catering, and plenty of space. Visit Jet NWA for pricing and more. That's Jet with 2 T's.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You hear that? You hear that?
Back to Safe Sports Radio.
That's special.
You think you're on anybody's pickup list at school?
No.
Chuck Barrett able to pick up my kid.
No, that I doubt that.
I'm going to write you in.
All right, good.
The Chuck and Bo Show
I'm ready for the season. I'm ready to see games. I'm ready to react to games. The predicting is going to be over. The stuff's going to be happening, and we're going to get to react to all that. I had somebody walk up to me over the weekend, and the only thing they said was 4-7 or 4-8, 5-7. Which one do you think? I said, I think they're going to maybe do better than that. Well, I hope you're right. I'm like, well, I hope I'm right too. It'd be more fun to talk about. If they stink.
Thank you for your time.
If they stink, the phone lines will be blowing up on Monday. It'll be entertainment, must listen to radio. But I'd rather see better things happen.
Yeah.
And I think they've got a chance to make that happen. You know, Andy Staples and I had a conversation last hour. You could go listen to it if you missed it on demand on YouTube, or follow Chuck and Bo on podcast, wherever you get podcasts, Spotify, Apple, social media at Chuck and Bo. I believe that we just have a lens problem. Like, you know, the kids now have introduced me to Snapchat filters, right? And I send my daughter like ridiculous filters of, I mean, I don't even want to describe. It's like me riding a unicycle. me flying in an airplane with goggles on. Whatever ridiculous filter I can find, because she's all about the snap streak. You know, we got like a 500-day streak going of meaningless, pictures of nothing, but it's just a touch point. I don't understand it, but you know what? If this is a way to communicate with my daughter, who's a freshman in high school, I'm in. Like
100%.
That's dad move. So, but now that you have the context of these filters, I think we look through at the season through maybe we look through it with different filters. Like, we don't all use the same filter. And I guess my thing would be like, can we get on a similar page with the filter, the lens, or do you want to describe to me what filter you're looking through or what lens you're using to view the season? Because you're only 2 wins away last year from feeling incredible about your program. But somehow, being 2 wins under that, you feel uninspired and unexcited. And I'm not talking about everyone. I'm just talking about the people that view it this way. And it's really 2 games. You flipped 2 games last year, one of them being Oklahoma State. That's an 8-win season if you include the bowl game. You win one other game. Pick a game that was a 1-possession game. You're talking about 9 wins again. And so how far away are you really? And then when we have the real conversation, you get back to the schedule. And by the way, when I talk about this stuff, please understand that I am not advocating for jobs. I'm not pretending that you shouldn't want more. It's none of that. I'm just trying to be real about where we are. I'm not here to talk about today whether Sam Pitman or anybody else on this staff is the right person for this job, because it is irrelevant to our conversation today. Like, we're in August. We're 1 week away from game week. So I'm talking about what we have, where we are as a fan base, and that's what we're dealing with. That's not changing. But the idea of being just stuck in one mindset without the ability or desire to sort of see it any other way is a bit confusing to me.
Yeah. No, I get that. And I want to go back to a conversation that you and I had on the show. Was it last week? Last week when you were posting up residents at Kool-Aid Corner, right? And,
which I rather enjoyed.
Yeah, I'm
go
sure.
back there at some point.
It seemed like fun.
It's a lovely place to be.
Sure.
Mental health is a thing.
Yeah.
And that's helpful.
And, I was talking about the offensive line and how that is like my single biggest concern with this year's team is whether or not the offensive line is going to be any good, because that impacts everything you do offensively, and that impacts the amount of time Taylon Green has to process and make decisions and throw the ball away or protect the ball or whatever. Turnovers were such a big issue last year, and poor offensive line play was as big a part of that as anything, right? And that is, and it's still my biggest concern, because when you go out and you replace a bunch of players on the roster with guys from the transfer portal who aren't experienced in this league, you never know how they're going to do. However, we're forgetting, or I'm forgetting, other people who feel this way are forgetting, that sometimes change is a good thing, right? And sometimes getting rid of a bunch of players or losing a bunch of players is not necessarily a bad thing. And that bringing in new players can be a good thing. We see this all the time in professional sports when teams don't re-sign players, and you're like, man, like I don't know about that. That seems like a bad move. And then the players they bring in are just as good or better. And that's not always like that, but my point is that it can be that way. And so why have the expectation that it's not going to be that way?
Well, because people are used to it not going their way. So let's assume again that it's going to be that way. And look, the schedule's brutal. But back to what Andy Staples was saying, what you're trying to do is you're trying to build the best team. This is obvious. You're going to try to build the best team you can build. But when you have your better years, you probably have an easier schedule, or you're going to run into a team who's not as good as everybody thought they were. So your schedule didn't end up being as hard as you thought maybe it was. Like if they just walk through Alabama A&M and they handle Arkansas State and they go to Ole Miss, and all of a sudden Ole Miss has a bad game and you just don't turn it over and you figure out a way to win the game, that you're 3-0, and then you're going to go to Memphis and you play. Let's stay solid. You don't have to do anything spectacular. Now you're 4-0. Okay, it can ease, but other people are like, oh man, Arkansas State's going to upset. No way they're going to win at Ole Miss, and that might be true. That might be true. But I think their team's good enough to compete. They were good enough to compete last year. But they made a ton of mistakes, turning the ball over. Some of that's forced by teams being better than you and overwhelming you at the line of scrimmage, which is what happened to the offensive line. But I don't know. Tell me what you think about the season. Somebody went up to me over the weekend and immediately went 4-8, 5-7. And I'm like, I mean, like, why? What makes you think they suck? Sorry, kids. Could use better language. But what makes you think they stink? Why are they going to be so terrible? Like immediately thinking they might not win as many games as you want them to, but I don't look at that roster and say, you know what? They got a bunch of kids out of the band to play, and they're going up against really good players, and they got nothing. That's not what we're looking at here. Hey, it's 7:30. We'll talk about it more. Get some of your calls coming up. 877-377-6963. It's back to school, college, University of Arkansas, others around the state. We're already back in, elementary, junior high, high school, middle school, all that going on. Maybe it's time to get mom something nice for doing all the driving around she's doing right now. Blakeman's can mark any occasion. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry, they're more than about jewelry. They are about your story, your milestones in life. And, man, what a facility. You got something special coming up, you can go celebrate it there. You never leave Blakeman's with a purple bag wishing you had not of. Everybody's smiling, including the person holding it. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry, the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks.
You can tell I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Are you looking for tough, reliable equipment from people you can trust? WT Equipment is your local family-owned dealership with 8 locations across Arkansas. And yep, they're big-time hog fans too. From Bobcat to New Holland, Hustler, Steel, and more. They carry the brands you know and trust to get the job done. Whether it's equipment or implements, WT Equipment has the tools you need, including a full lineup of Bobcat machines built for power and performance. Stop by your nearest WT Equipment today.
Chevy of Fayetteville has over 200 new vehicles on the lot right now. So if you're in the market, now's the time to make a move. That includes the brand new Chevy Traverse, the Chevy Trax, and all the favorites like the Tahoes and Suburbans. And for truck lovers, there are Silverados in stock and ready for immediate delivery. So go see Chris, Mark, Denver, and the team at Chevy of Fayetteville. Together, let's drive.
You know what else makes you an Arkansas Razorback fan? Going to the University of Arkansas. How about playing football for the team?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I think it's an outstanding schedule. With that, everybody, that gives the University of Arkansas one hell of an opportunity. And we've got a good football team, too. They have to play Arkansas, too, now.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Andy Staples joined us earlier, the Andy and Ari podcast, covering college football. Andy's a national college football host and reporter for On 3. He's also featured, I should have asked him about the Netflix series. He's in there on any given Saturday. He's in there a bunch. But here's one of the things he said.
What do we think about that, by the way? Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, I like it. But I like things like that. But I'm not blown away or anything.
Okay, that's kind of how I am. Some episodes are better than others.
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, I just kind of I've fallen asleep, and that's not an indication of how good or bad it is. But by the time I get to it, I'm comfortable. Yeah, and I think I'm on episode 3 for the third, maybe episode 4 for the third time.
Okay,
but I mean, I'd watch it.
Yeah,
I mean, I'd tell people to go watch it.
Yeah.
If you like the SEC, if you like SEC football. But here's what Andy said.
I think people need to adjust their expectations to the new sizes of the conferences. What Oregon did last year, like going through the Big Ten undefeated, I don't think we're going to see that very often. Yeah. I just don't think teams are going to be able to do that. If you get a bad draw, or in the case of Arkansas, where you have at Memphis and Notre Dame are two brutally hard non-conference games, you should not be thinking, oh, we got to be 11-1 or 10-2. There are going to be good years that are 8-4 and 7-5. Where you were good, it's just that you've played a lot of good teams.
And he's talking about teams at the top when he throws that out there. So, and I think that came from me asking him what he thought about a 6-win, 7-win year for Arkansas with this schedule. Because not all years, not all schedules are going to be the same, and it is somewhat cyclical. I mean, look, if you're Arkansas, if you're South Carolina, if you're Missouri, even Ole Miss, I mean, what you're trying to do, and Ole Miss is, when I say even Ole Miss, I mean, they've had an uptick with Kiffin. They've done well with NIL. They've been able to use money to get some players. They're better than they have been traditionally. But also, I don't know that they've been like a ton better, but they've been better. And the difference in being good or a lot better can be 2 games. I mean, if you add 2 wins to Arkansas' schedule last year, you feel a lot better about the season. You take 2 losses and make them a 4-win team, you feel a lot worse. And that's where this whole conversation comes about being stuck in the middle. But there will be an uptick again. It will cycle back up for Arkansas. The key is to have a program that has stability in it. I'm not talking about necessarily keeping the same coach. I'm talking about like it's a program that when the job is open, coaches can be attracted to, because it was so bad after Chad Morris, nobody wanted the job. I mean, they couldn't find anybody nationally that would take that job. And you forget that. And sometimes Pitman gets no credit for restoring some pride and some stability to this program. But when you're there, when you have stability, when you are at least a 6-win kind of program against a really tough schedule, that means you're good enough to play a couple of games, punch above your head a little bit, or have a good quarterback, and maybe win a couple more games. Then you maybe thought it would be 6 wins. That's the filter he's kind of talking about. 877-377-6963. Before I go to the phones, we get texts, and it's from a lot of the same people. And sometimes there are a lot more texts, and they're not from the same people. But you can always tell where somebody is because you just go look at all their text messages, and they're all the same. And Hogball 30 is one of these guys. And here's what he says. There are no standout players other than the quarterback. That's why everyone thinks they suck. No standout players besides the quarterback. I don't believe that at all. You just don't know who they are. Corey Robinson's a standout player. He's been nationally written and talked about because of his pass blocking last year at Georgia Tech, the number 2 pass pro guy in the country. You don't call that standout? Caden Kittler, standout at UCF, center. Transfer, came in. Mike Washington, standout player, New Mexico State. It's all that's been talked about in fall camp. Like, not all, but a lot of him. Xavier Sori. Dix.
Carmona.
Shaw.
Carmona, first team All SEC, Phil Steele.
These linebackers are all candidates to be
standout.
First, second, third team All SEC.
Cam Shanks, first team punt returner, preseason.
Cam Ball. You're not paying attention, dude. Those guys are players. Larry Worth III. You just don't know who some of these guys are yet. Here, and he continues, no other sports shows, which I'm not, don't even get me in a conversation about other sports shows, are talking about how great Arkansas is going to be this year. I'm not talking about how great they're going to be. Listen. Get out of your own head and listen to what's being said. Or just live in your own world. But don't come into this world and pretend that I'm saying or we're saying something we're not. Nobody here saying they're going to have a great year. It's not the conversation. I hope they do. Mark's in West Virginia. Mark, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show from West Virginia.
Yes, sir. All the way from West Virginia. I just wanted to call in and thank you guys for the show. What you guys are doing wonderful work there. It's being so far away like I am in West Virginia, it's kind of with you guys makes it easier to stay up to date with the Hogs.
Well, I appreciate it, man. How you listening to the show?
Actually, through Twitter, and also when I'm on the road for work, through Twitter. But when I'm at home, it's through YouTube.
Yeah. Okay, man. Well, we appreciate it. Thanks for checking in.
Yeah, absolutely.
How you feeling about
Thank you for.
How you feeling? Go ahead.
I was just going to say thank you for roasting that guy who said in that last text. There's people out there that just doesn't pay attention.
Yeah, I don't know what the season's going to be like, but the idea that they don't have any players and we're overmatched in every game is not true.
Yeah,
they're going to be able to compete. I don't know that they're going to win.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's some potential on the schedule. We got a hard schedule. Yes, we do. But you got to think about it. The talent we have, and you got to look at we're the SEC where anything can happen.
Appreciate your call, man. Thanks for listening.
All right, thank you, sir.
Appreciate you checking in and letting us know about it. You can catch us anywhere on YouTube, Twitter, at Chuck and Bo Show. Hit that Line Now app, powered by Taco Bell. Rod's on I-40, getting it done. The working man driving the truck.
Good morning.
What's up, Rod?
Yeah, I was on vacation last week, so I didn't go anywhere or do anything. That was the best vacation I've had in a long time.
Man.
Yeah, I don't want to even leave the house. I ain't got to.
That sounds like a dream come true for Chuck.
Oh, man, I'm telling you.
I like to go do
me
things.
And Chuck me and Chuck might be a little bit of a soulmate going on there. You're talking about Kool-Aid, and if I was really excited about the season and the players, is it Kool-Aid for me and rat poison for the players? Because quote the greatest coach of all time, and if we really make them believe how great we think they are, then that's Nick Saban's rat poison, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. The difference is, I don't think Arkansas is really in that position. Like, these guys are trying to prove themselves. When you're at a really high level, you're going undefeated or like Alabama was all that time. Saban's walking around. Let me tell you how he was in that building. Really big games, a little emotion. It's just business as usual. Games against New Mexico State, Alabama A&M, he's just hell on wheels all week, trying to keep their focus of not overlooking it. That's what he meant by rat poison, like guys buying into all this stuff and thinking they've made it. Nobody at Arkansas is thinking they've made it. But but that's the point.
Yeah, Alabama State or A&M, A-State, trap game, rat poison. That's what worries me sometimes.
Yeah. I think they'll be focused for that game. Look, I think this team, Rod, thanks for the call. They understand They want to prove something. You know, I mean, they get it. And I think they've landed guys in the portal that really do care and do really want to be here and do really want to go compete for each other. And, you know, that's a big part of the battle when you're coaching college athletics. Got to hit a break. I want to remind you that if you're watching games, Walk-Ons is the place to do it. Over 60 TVs at any Walk-Ons all over Arkansas. And when you're there, ask about Flight by Yingling. They've got it on draft, and it's fantastic. 95 calories. It is the next generation of light beer. Tastes like a Yingling, but it's a light beer. Grab it at your favorite store or ask about it in your favorite restaurant. And on draft at Walk-Ons. Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. Everybody's welcome to their opinion. That's just flat out wrong.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Some moments call for more than just a win. They call for unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you're not just buying a diamond. You're creating an experience that starts the moment you walk through the door. Their newly remodeled space is absolutely stunning, and Cafe B has a personal touch you won't find anywhere else. Their in-house diamond expert makes it easy to find the perfect piece for any occasion, and that purple bag, still undefeated when it comes to saving the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's your story.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
If you haven't tried a Flight by Yingling, you're missing out on the great taste of Yingling that is a light beer. It's the next generation of light beer. Get it on draft, in the can, the new skinny cans, and now the new 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle. Perfect for any occasion. It's just 95 calories, and you're still enjoying a Yingling. Take your beer game to new heights with Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer.
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, if you're struggling to get your Social Security disability, or you're buried in debt thinking about bankruptcy, don't wait. You need a legal team that knows how to fight for Arkansans.
That's why you can trust Cadell Reynolds. Bill Reynolds and his team know how to get results when it matters most. Whether it's personal injury, disability, or bankruptcy, they've got your back.
Dial 866-314-3728 or visit CadellReynolds.com today.
Cadell Reynolds. Make the right call.
Oaklawn is your hot springs escape. Enjoy plush comfort, upscale dining, and Arkansas's only Forbes 4-star rated spa at our luxury hotel. And with easy access to Hot Springs National Park and sparkling lakes, Oaklawn is your home base for everything the region has to offer. Come stay, play, and get away at Oaklawn, a Forbes Travel Guide recommended hotel. Make your reservation at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Hey, it's Bo. And for me, business comes down to working with people I like and can count on. And that's Teamwork Roofing and Construction. They do what they say, they're on time, and when they're done, it's like they were never there and you have a brand new roof. Built with expert craftsmanship and the best materials. When it comes to commercial or residential roofing, get the customer care Teamwork Roofing and Construction offers. Check them out on their Facebook page, Teamwork Roofing and Construction. Built on quality, powered by teamwork. When is the last time you thought, oh, the SEC's making an announcement today, and it's going to be good for the Hogs?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
goals is to take Chuck out and make him uncomfortable in public settings.
You're
Just get
assuming
him-
you have it.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Man, I'm just limping through one more day without Chuck here.
I'm starting to miss him.
Speaking of, I know. Speaking of,
starting to miss
well, it's just it's more fun, because Chuck comes in here and then we just sort of, you never know what's on his mind.
There's just
and
a
there's
void
lot
in the
on his
room.
mind.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm telling you, it's like looking at Bear Bryant's museum over there. That little thing y'all have set up. It's gone fishing
Kind of
type
starting
deal.
to make me
It's-
sad.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez. Golly,
It's a
man.
little too real.
Yeah, this is. I didn't know you had feelings like that, Edward. You have feelings. You got a heart. I love it.
That's right.
I love it.
And there's a hole in
Keep
it
sharing.
right
What
now
else do you want to share
without
today?
Chuck.
Yeah, you got a hole in your heart.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Hopefully he'll be back at
That is touching. You have touched me today.
5:42 tomorrow morning.
Yeah,
he'll walk
that's
through
exactly
that door.
right.
He'll say, "Good morning, Edward."
Yeah.
and I'll say, "Good morning, Chuck."
That's what I say.
And that'll be just
That'll
about
be it.
That'll be.
And then he'll go start his coffee, and then he'll wander into Bo's office, and say,
Yeah.
"What's going on, man?" That's what he says every morning. Every morning.
He just nailed it. He just nailed it.
100% accurate.
That's
Chuck's a
that is
routine human
absolutely-
being.
It's either what's
Yes.
going on, man, or what you
going on,
thinking, man?
Yeah, what do you want to talk about today? I'm in there
going on,
grinding
man?
on the internet, just trying to find. And he's like, I was thinking we could just walk into this thing about Arkansas sucking again. It's just, why don't we tackle that? And then we start the show, and it's nothing about that. It's something completely random that popped into his mind as the intro was playing.
That's right.
Which is all the fun. So we'll be back to normal tomorrow. But we'll get back to your thoughts. And, hey, here's an interesting question to think about. How do you root for guys in the NFL now? Like, when they played here last year and now they're in the NFL, do they feel like a Razorback? Does Jaquindon Jackson, running back, feel like a Razorback? Isaac Teslaw was here 2 years. And Tesla's getting a lot of recognition right now with the Lions. Like, he went into camp and killed it.
And we claim him.
Killing the
as a
offseason. You're like,
Razorback.
that's our guy. That's a former Razorback. Who is, who isn't? Almost 8 o'clock on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
All right, guys, you hear us talk about the Sweatin' 'em Edge on the Chuck and Bo Show. You've got your summer lineup set, but what about your skincare? Sun, sweat, and all that time outside takes a toll. Hit up the spa at Sweatin' 'em Cosmetic Surgery for a facial or sun damage repair. It's not just for the ladies, guys. Call 479-966-4174. Again, that's 479-966-4174 and get your skin in the game.
As a play-by-play announcer, my eyes are everything. I need to see every detail on the field to call the game the right way. So when cataracts started affecting my vision, I knew I couldn't wait. I went to Dr. Betts and the team at McDonald Eye Associates. And truthfully, I wish I'd done it years ago. The difference is incredible. The whole experience was professional, easy, and honestly life-changing. If your vision's holding you back, take it from me. Don't put it off any longer. Schedule your appointment with McDonald Eye Associates today.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Buying or selling a home's a big deal, and you want someone who is with you every step of the way. That's why those of us at the Chuck and Bo Show wholeheartedly recommend Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, because we've experienced it. They've been my partners for life. They're Bo's partner now, and I promise you, when you become involved with Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, they'll become your partners for life too. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can always log on and check out their selection at WeicherGriffin.com.
We were 0-5. They put us all in the coffin. They just didn't put the nails in.
The Chuck and Bo Show. Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
What is it with you and the Lobos? Let's just get to the bottom of it. What is it with you and the Lobos?
I like the Lobos, man. New Mexico's a cool place.
Man.
Okay, man.
New Mexico's a cool place.
Go get him, man.
It just sounds like a hippie in a band.
Dude, I just like it, man.
Hey, man.
I just, I smoke a little bit and I just drive around. I like it. I like the Lobos, man. Like,
It's the land of enchantment.
Land of enchantment.
It's the Lobos,
The
man.
Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this much.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "What's heard on the Chuck and Bo show?"
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Chuck's back tomorrow. It's 8:02 on Monday, August 18th. Robert Redford's 89 today.
How about that?
Dadgum, man. I mean, I don't know. We got any criminal birthdays today?
No, I checked. I checked the database.
Doesn't Edward Norton have a criminal record?
But I mean,
help me out. I don't know. Who is Edward Norton?
He's an actor.
For give me a
Fight Club.
Point. Oh, okay. I got you.
Oh wait, I was thinking
Thank
of
you.
somebody else.
Well,
Who am I thinking of? Is there a different Norton?
I have no idea.
Can you put mainly me, but so Chuck and I don't both feel like complete idiots.
Yeah.
Can you put a reference on the names of somebody we don't know?
So Andy Samberg, 47 today.
Yeah.
Saturday Night Live alum, actor,
See,
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Or maybe not. Maybe you should just do the birthdays and roll it out like that.
That's fine.
How about that?
Okay.
Oh, I was thinking of Edward Snowden, not Edward Norton.
That's very different.
Yeah.
Extremely different people.
But I mean, why not?
That's an incredible pull, though.
Why not? National Fajita Day today.
Yeah, there we go. Now we're talking.
Okay, now, so this one seems to have, this one may have passed us by.
Yeah.
National Mail Order Catalog Day.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Are we doing that as
I think some
as
people
a society?
I think some people still, some brands, some companies still send out catalogs. Yeah. Lands End made a whole business off of it.
Yeah, I don't, but man, if I get that in the mail, it's just right in the trash.
You're not gonna thumb through it. See if
No,
there's anything-
I probably, but I feel like everything's online now.
Well,
you
I mean,
know?
it is, but what better way to capture your attention than a magazine sent straight to your mailbox?
So we've learned that Hogball listens to the show, Hogball 30, and he texts the show, but he's not actually listening. And he said a minute ago, he said there are no outstanding players besides Taylor Green. There's no standout players other than the quarterback on this roster. So I rattled off about 6 guys that played in college football at a high level last year. And he came back to me and said on text that being a standout high school player means nothing until you get to college and prove it. So I don't know what's going on with this guy.
Well,
but I just, I think it's time for me to stop trying to clear things up.
Yeah,
for him.
he also seems
gonna
to
move
believe that
along.
Isaiah Satania still plays for the Razorbacks. So,
Yeah, well, he's at Oklahoma now. 877-377-6963. We played a little sound from Pitman earlier in the show. I think we should come back to it. They're loving Mike Washington. Speaking of standout players, this running back, it'll be a surprise if he doesn't have a great season this year.
Mike Washington seems to, in live ball, he seems to make long runs. Today happened to be a 91. I think his second run today was maybe 32 or something like that. So obviously there's doing a good job up front, but he's also doing a good job of breaking tackles and has tremendous speed.
I don't love how that sounds for the defense, but the ones are going against the twos. I think defense is a little hard at this time of the year because of the way you're trying to play and not get people hurt. I think they're going to be okay on defense. It might take a little while, but I do think they have the pieces that they picked up in the transfer portal. Pitman, a little bit more on his team.
You know, when you're not very good, you have a 1 and you go, oh, Lord, I hope the 2 don't get in there. You know, I mean, honestly. And it's just not that way right now. Obviously, they're a 1 for a reason, and they're somewhat better than the guy behind them. But right now, it's just developing more and more guys that we feel like we can win SEC games with. And that's kind of where we're at now, and I think that's where the good teams are. You know, they're going, okay, let's get this guy in there with this group and see how he reacts. And so the depth chart's really not as important to me as it is to maybe the media and certainly to the team. I'm just trying to find guys that we trust and, more importantly, the players trust when we put them out there that we can win with. So I believe that we're headed that direction, and we'll let the depth chart play itself out by the time we get to the first game.
All right, we'll see. 877-377-6963 if you want to text or call the show. I think I'm going to make a new rule about the text line for our show. Oh. I don't know if we can stick to it, but I would like to propose this. If you have a negative opinion and an opinion that's opposite, or an opinion that's opposite of what's being discussed here on the show, like you get one text, but after that you need to call. Because, you know, the keyboard muscle man on some of this stuff without any willingness to have a discussion or have a little bit more of an in-depth conversation about why you feel the way you feel it's a societal issue. So just call in and let's have a respectful dialogue. It's not even that important. We're talking about sports. But the idea of this, you know, these broad sweeping statements with nothing behind it, and you don't want to call and talk about it, I don't think I want to play that anymore. It's just dumb. Like, let's be a little smarter. Let's just have a conversation. And then, you know, we can move on to the next thing. 877-377-6963. What else did Pitman say yesterday? Here's what he's learned about his team.
We're learning we have...
This was Saturday, not yesterday. Sorry.
We're learning we have a pretty dang good group of wideouts, and we're learning Platt can get open. You know, Rohan Jones can do something. Polska can do, you know, both. We're learning a little bit more about our football team. Just because somebody was this way last year, good or bad, doesn't make him the same player. He can either be better or he can be worse. And so we're learning those things about our team a little bit more and in tough situations. And I feel really good about the team. I feel great about our punting, our kicking, our returners. Is really good to have Shanks back. I think our special teams are going to add really a lot of value to us. So we're learning all that about our football team. But luckily we're learning in a good way that how we feel about our team.
Somebody walked up to me over the weekend and they were like, 4-8, 5-7. What do you think? It's like, I think they're going to be a little bit better than that. Schedule's tough, but I think they've got guys that can play. I really believe the offense is going to be fun to watch. I think it's going to be a pretty explosive at times offense. And I'm sure there'll be some games where, you know, they're playing really good teams. So there may be some games where it's not that way, but I feel like they're going to be able to put up points against virtually anybody on the schedule this year. I also feel like it's so much more difficult to have a suffocating defense in college football now.
For sure.
You know, I feel like,
for sure,
you know, offenses have figured out a way to just kind of keep the ball moving if you get the right pieces. But you got to protect, and I believe Arkansas addressed that, and you can't turn it over. And yeah, so there you go. That's that's what we take away from that. Right there out of the cookbook.
Yeah. I love
the Chuck and Bo recipe.
I still have to order the cookbook.
Yeah,
by the way. So we got to get on that.
I mean, seriously, how did Chuck get a recipe in a cookbook that he's never made?
I have no idea.
What is
I'm happy for him.
What was it called again?
Some sort of meatball situation.
Eating like the Razorbacks. Oh, the book or the the recipe was Spicy Sausage Meatballs by Chuck Barrett. The book, I think, was Eat like the Hogs, Eat like the Razorbacks.
Okay, so one of us has to do this. Who wants to do the Chuck Barrett recipe and then report back?
No, hell no.
That's me.
I'll do it.
You'll do it.
Yeah.
Are you going to bring them in and we'll have it, or
hell yeah?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Sure do.
Sure will.
What was he talking about?
I don't know.
We also had this
I don't
really.
remember what the context
We
was.
also
I just
had
thought
this
it was
really
funny.
awkward moment in the news conference after Saturday's scrimmage.
And then a lot of talk about, year 2 under Bobby. I guess maybe year 6 under you doesn't sound quite as exciting to the eye, but I guess have you learned anything that I guess, sorry.
Was there a question in there?
Yeah,
or what
yes.
the hell are we doing?
Sorry. I guess, is there anything new that you've learned about yourself that you're looking to take into this year? I guess I should just lead with that.
What would your answer be right there?
It wouldn't have been as nice as Coach was.
Yeah.
He went on and answered the question in a legitimate way.
So what do we think the question was trying? Let's listen to the question one more time. What do we think was the question he was actually trying to ask?
And then a lot of talk about, year 2 under Bobby. I guess maybe year 6 under you doesn't sound quite as exciting to the eye, but I guess have you learned anything that
What was he trying to ask? What do you think it was?
I have no
When he
idea.
says it's not as exciting year 6 under
I
you
think-
as it is year 2 under Petrino as the offensive coordinator.
I think what he was trying to say or allude to is that like people are fired up about seeing what the offense can do in year 2 under Bobby Petrino because there's always been a big his offenses have always had a big jump with a returning quarterback in his system like he has this year with Taylon Green. Maybe that same excitement isn't being felt throughout the program. Like how do you deal with that and what's your expectation for what the team looks like?
That's
this year?
Bart in the Chevy Fayetteville.
I don't know though. I'm
Situation
just
Room.
making this up.
Here's again to me. This is just sort of our lack of. I'll just put us all in here. Our lack of ability to get beyond the surface on anything. So who's the head coach?
Sam Pitman.
Who hired Bobby Petrino?
Also Sam Pitman.
Who allowed Taylon Green or got Taylon Green to come here?
Well, I mean, probably a combination of both.
But my point is like the head coach gets blamed for everything bad and gets no credit for anything happening good.
That's correct. Yes.
And again, it's just bias. Like, just be real about all of it. Don't be real. This is the thing about negativity. You want to be real about a part of it. You don't want to be real about all of it. And the reality is some things have gone bad and some things have gone well. And
some things don't sound as good to the eye.
And if you want to blame the head coach for the loss to Oklahoma State last year, that's fine. But there's a bunch of other people I could easily blame in a very objective way. And if they win that game, where do you feel about the program? So you're really like, you don't even know sometimes what you're basing your negativity on. 877-377-6963 if you want to jump in here. Bart's in the Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room. Chevy of Fayetteville now has over 200 new vehicles on the lot. So if you're in the market, now's the time to make a move. That includes brand new Chevy Traverses, Chevy Trax, and all the favorites like the Tahoes and the Suburbans. And for truck lovers, there are Silverados in stock and ready for immediate delivery too. Just see Chris, Mark, Denver, and the gang over there at Chevy of Fayetteville inside the Fayetteville Auto Park, where they've got complimentary loaners, a great service department. So if you got to get your vehicle worked on, they'll help you out. Inside the Auto Park at Chevy of Fayetteville, together, let's drive. It's 8:16 on the Chuck and Bo Show. Monday, good morning. I want to see you and Bart in the old three-legged race.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Let me just...
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Summer storms and heavy rains can sneak up fast, so make sure your gutters are ready to handle it all. Hog Trough Gutters, locally owned and operated with 30 years of experience, installs seamless gutters made on site to protect your home. They're fully licensed and insured. Every job is hydro-tested, and each one comes with a 20-year warranty. Proudly serving Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. And if you're outside those areas, just give them a call or a text. Schedule your free inspection today at hoggutters.com.
At the Stonebreaker Hotel, we believe in the art of gathering, whether over a thoughtfully prepared meal or a quiet moment on Markham Hill. Start your day with breakfast classics from the all-day menu, served from 7:30 to 1. Savor shareable bites from the bar and lounge menu until 10. And let the dinner menu from 5 to 9 bring familiar flavors with a fresh twist. And for a weekend well spent, how about brunch? Rooted in connection, designed for comfort. Learn more at stonebreakerhotel.com. There's no better shopping experience than you're going to find at Macadoodles or at Guess Who in Bentonville. And every Wednesday is Wine Down Wednesday. 15% off every bottle of wine in the store, even if it's already on sale. But when it comes to selection, amazing prices, and unbeatable customer service, Macadoodles and Guess Who in Bentonville is second to none. Wine, beer, and spirits. Stock up for your next party or just stop by and grab your favorite. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, price check with Paschal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing you chose the best option for your home. Visit gopaschal.com and with just a few clicks, see how much you can save with the Paschal price check. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
Today's been a strange day.
Yeah, we've had some struggles here.
Just
let's just be blunt. Can we be blunt?
Well, it's 50-50 at best.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Who's going to be the first to get a Chuck and Bo tattoo? I mean, I think Chuck might do it.
No. You can have mine. You just get two of them.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Scotty Scheffler won again over the weekend. Looking at some headlines here.
Yes, he did.
He chipped in like on the 71st hole, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He did.
Extend
it's
his
just kind of
lead.
inevitable.
It was a long chip in.
Yeah.
He's just he is fun to watch. You think he has any real shot at Tiger and then Jack's record majors?
Oh, I mean that's
on the
so,
same.
That's so
on
hard
the
to
same
say.
track.
Yeah. No, it is. I mean, you never know what's going to come in somebody's career, but I mean, look, there's not a major championship next year that he, barring injury, that he will not be favored in. I saw early odds for the Tour Championship this week, at Oaklawn Sports, and he's like plus 125 to win. Rory's second at like plus 800, plus 900, something like that. Like, those are Tiger-like odds. It's Scheffler versus the field, essentially. And that's really crazy. We'll see if he can keep it up. He's been very open about how, like, golf and winning golf tournaments isn't, like, the most fulfilling thing for him in his life. So, like, is there a point when, he's just like, all right, that was fun for a while. I'm done.
I don't think
so.
so.
But I don't think so, because I think when you're a competitor, right? And it's hard to turn that
I don't
off.
think he necessarily means take it or leave it. I think he means he's got it in perspective.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
who
for
I
sure.
am as a person is more important than whether
Anything
I'm
I
winning
do,
golf
yeah.
tournaments. But I believe who he is as a person allows him to really compete at a really high level and maybe not have some of the hang-ups that dealing with all the pressure of all of that can bring to you. And I give him a better chance, like not to make fun of it, but like the idea of a Scottie Scheffler scandal, right? Like that would, like that Tiger went through, and some of the things that I think were challenges for Tiger.
As long as he stays out of Louisville.
Maybe not getting arrested driving into a tee time. Outside of that, that was one of the most shocking things of all time in sports. You're like, this just makes no sense.
Right.
And it sure didn't. And then the way he handled himself in that whole situation was also amazing, which I think it gives you a little peek into the authenticity of the kind of guy he portrays himself to be.
And from just a competitor standpoint, I think one of the biggest compliments you can give somebody is when they don't have their A game, so to speak, but they're still in the mix every single week. Like, they're still grinding and still competing and still finding ways to put themselves in position to be successful, whether that's in football, basketball, whatever sport or anything. There have been times this year when he was very clearly not at his best, and he was still finishing in the top 5.
Yeah. Does anybody root against Scottie Scheffler?
Man, not that I know of.
He's not very. I don't know if he's very polarizing. I think you just like him. He's a likable guy.
Yeah.
He's like good dude, treats others well. There's not really a villain aspect to him. Obviously people sometimes we want to root against the guy who's always winning. I don't really feel that with him.
No, I don't.
What does he have? 5 majors?
4 or 5.
Is it 4 or 5? So it may be 4. I just read when he won his last one that he was basically on the same track as Tiger had been at that age
4
in his career.
Because he won the PGA Championship and the Open Championship this year to join his 2 master titles. I would be shocked if he does not add to that next year.
John Daly II got as far or further, actually, than any other Razorback or former Razorback has gotten in the U.S. Amateur Championship. But his run ended in the quarterfinals. Arkansas soccer played Notre Dame, number 2 Notre Dame, last night. The number 6 Razorbacks tied Notre Dame in penalty kicks. And it was like 3,000 people were at the game. It was a pretty decent crowd. And you forget soccer has 2 seasons. They had a fall and a spring. But Colby Hale, another coach doing great things with an Arkansas program. Somebody sent a text earlier that you were pointing out to me in the break. So we go back to Barton, the Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room, about one of the difficult things with football is how the other programs are having success at a higher level than football. Now, they're 2 different things, but let's just listen to this point for a second.
Yeah, this is Matt and Harrison. I think it's well thought out and well reasoned. He said the biggest reason why I'm kind of apathetic toward football is more a testament to the success of basketball and particularly baseball. How can you come off a sport where you're the favorite to win the national championship and the next big sport has no chance? It's readjusting the expectations, which is hard. And I think that's fair. I think that's valid. I think that's the way probably a lot of people feel. you get to a point where you're not just measuring the Razorback football team against the other teams in the SEC. You're measuring them against the other teams on campus.
Yeah.
And the success that they're having. And that just makes it more and more difficult, and that puts more and more pressure on football to have a good season, to keep up with these other programs. Because, as we've talked about it many, many times, everything else on campus is going great for the most part. Like, you've got a great basketball program that is back among the national elite where it belongs. You have, I would say, one of the 2 or 3 best baseball programs in the country, maybe the best on a year-to-year basis. You have a softball program that's continually competing for the SEC title and beyond. Your track programs are winning national championships. Your golf programs are doing great things. Like, I can go on and on down the line through all the programs on campus. They're all doing great. And so, yeah, like, it just makes you feel worse when that football hasn't quite reached that. And it's not that you're necessarily down on the program. It's just you want so badly for them to share in that success too.
Yeah, it's a different beast for all kinds of reasons in terms of how you turn a football program around.
Yeah.
Like, if you go look at all those sports, actually in track, Arkansas has been so dominant for so long. But I think you'll find more parity in terms of teams that finish in the top 10 or the top 15 or the top 20 in all those sports. In football, it's always been the way that it is now, where you have 6 or 10 traditional powers that are the same, that are rotating around. And remember, Michigan dropped off forever. The winningest program in college football history was almost irrelevant for, I don't remember how long, a couple of decades of really competing at that level, even in a Big Ten conference that really wasn't even that good. And it's like, and Notre Dame was also in a similar position, even with all that tradition. I mean, there's just a lot of things that have to happen in football. And again, Arkansas is traditionally a 6-win program, and they're trying to figure out a way to be more consistently a 9 or above win program. And I still believe that there's a path to get there. And I'm interested to see, like, can this year be a foundational year, like another step forward for the program being a respectable program? Because obviously Pittman's not going to be the coach here forever. And maybe this is his last year one way or the other. Maybe they have a great year and he retires, or maybe it ends up a different way. But, we will be in a position where Arkansas is going to hire a new coach at some point. And what you want, if you're a fan of this program, is for it to be an attractive job. And we're also navigating a new environment in college football. And where's that whole thing going to kind of settle out and level out? And where does that leave Arkansas? But it is more challenging in football, but I also just don't believe you're that far removed from being maybe doing what people are seeing happen at Ole Miss right now. Even though they haven't made the playoff, you feel like they're ahead a little bit of maybe where Arkansas is in the national rankings. Hey, if you've struggled with some drainage issues at your house, maybe the storms this summer have messed up your gutters, or you're noticing some drainage issues around your house, Hog Trough Gutters is a local company, and they've been doing it right for over 30 years now. Fully licensed contractors, fully insured. Every job comes with a written 20-year warranty. You should never have to pay up front for regular gutters. Sometimes when we have storms, you got out-of-town roofers, you got out-of-town gutter companies coming in trying to get you to pay up front. Then maybe they do a job, maybe they don't. Maybe they leave you hanging. Hog Trough's been around. You can trust them, depend on them. With Hog Trough Gutters, they're going to do the best job possible for you and get it installed quickly and efficiently. Seamless gutters, trenching, French drains, all done right the first time. Visit hoggutters.com. There's a number there. You can text in a picture of your issue, which will help them in their efficiency getting back to you, maybe with just an answer like, yes, you probably need something, or no, this is an easy fix you could do yourself. Hoggutters.com, the website.
Check it out today. 8:31, it's the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning. You guys are part of my family. Everyone that listens to this show is just part of the Chuck and Bo family. We're building a community here.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Buying or selling a home's a big deal, and you want someone who is with you every step of the way. That's why those of us at the Chuck and Bo Show wholeheartedly recommend Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, because we've experienced it. They've been my partners for life. They're Bo's partner now, and I promise you, when you become involved with Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, they'll become your partners for life too. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can always log on and check out their selection at WeicherGriffin.com.
When it comes to watching games, nobody does it like walk-ons. Over 60 TVs at every location, and the food and drinks win. Mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine like po' boys and gumbo, plus fan favorites like the best burger you can get anywhere, and more draft beers and cocktails than you can count. Incredible food, wonderful service, and a viewing experience like none other. Walk-On Sports Bistro. We live for this.
Particularly in the South, I'm not sure there's a title that carries more weight than coach. Maybe preacher.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
unbeknownst to any of us, Hal got his iPad working to watch the British Open. On his own.
I play the role of dumb blonde sometimes, but the reality is I am very skilled when it comes to the iPad.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Chuck's back tomorrow. Where do we decide we're going here with this segment? We're going to the cookbook, or are we going other places? Or you want to hear from Andy Staples, who was on the show earlier? Changing expectations.
Bart's got a call to action to all the cyclists and then.
Oh, that's right. Bart went back to the Chevy Fayette.
The bicyclists.
I'm just going to tell you right now, okay? I'm not on your side on this. Okay. Well, I mean, I am. I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But if you've never been, like sort of in the, what's the best way to say this? If you've ever been like ran a marathon or half marathon or 5K or triathlon, or
God willing,
if you've never
I won't.
been a cyclist, like for exercise, you've been on a bike, and if you've never really done that, then I get where you're coming from with this take. But if you have, then you have just a little bit different view of it all.
I would just like the cyclists in Northwest Arkansas to be a little bit more careful.
Okay, well, that's fine.
That's all.
Yeah.
Do
we need to limit it to that? Because we could probably say that about a lot of categories.
The number of times, and just in the past week alone, when I've had to slam on my brakes because a cyclist has darted out, like not hit the button to light up the crosswalk, nothing like that. And like I'm talking about the spots where like the path kind of bends and you can't really see them coming.
Yes.
It's not like I'm going fast or anything and I'm slowing down to go over the speed hump that's there for the crosswalk. But I don't know. Speed. I don't know. Speed table, I think, is what they call it.
Hell yeah.
That's exactly what it's called. Thank you, Coach.
People come darting out, and it's almost like they don't even look, they don't even care. They're just like, oh, people are going to stop for us, and that's not safe.
That's a crosswalk issue.
You're going to get hit. You're going to get injured.
Bart, you can speak from experience.
As somebody
Bart's
who has
hit in a crosswalk.
hit in a crosswalk, yes.
You cannot trust.
Yes.
You cannot trust. This is actually, can we go here? Public service announcement, okay? For all the kids on campus. Just because you have the right of way in the crosswalk doesn't mean that you can count on the car to do that.
And there,
the people that don't look before they go through a crosswalk, you're taking your life. You're leaving your life into somebody else's hands.
And there are a lot of rules and regulations, I know, at least in Fayetteville, and I'm sure they're echoed throughout Northwest Arkansas, that really protect cyclists and what they can and can't do and how they're allowed to treat stop signs and all that stuff. We might just need to look at rolling some of that back a little bit because it is dangerous.
You know why mess with it? Why don't we just get on a private jet and we'll go to Colorado and we'll ride in the trails?
It's just dangerous, man.
Why don't we do that? How about you get a mountain bike? I'll get a mountain bike.
No, I'm good.
We're gonna go up to jet aircraft. That would be great. We could take the lift up the mountain and we'll take the mountain bikes down the mountain, and there'll be no vehicles. It'll just be you and nature and your bike.
Yeah, I mean,
let's try that. Let's do
I'll
that.
just walk.
And give you a little different perspective on cyclists and biking.
On a mountain.
Yeah, coming down a mountain.
As opposed to city streets with lots of cars.
I mean, they're just trying to stay on the bike.
Look, college students are back, right? There's way more traffic on the road. All I'm asking is, hey, just be safe and be courteous to everybody else who's using the road.
There you go. Bart's just asking. Another segment.
There's a lot of frustration bubbling.
Yeah, there is. I feel like there were some other things that maybe happened this weekend that we're not hearing about.
The traffic,
lost in that.
the students, the bikes.
Yeah. Well, what's really going on, Bart? Let's a little therapy. What else is below the surface? What's bubbling below the surface?
Waiting for the party animals.
That was not great.
No, but you ended up having a good time. So I feel like you worked your way through that.
Absolutely.
What else? Anything else happened this weekend that's just sort of bubbling below the surface of frustration and fear?
No.
Anxiety?
No?
You good? You're good.
I'm great.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
All right, good.
Are you good?
Yeah. Oh, I think I'm great.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, great.
I'm ready for Chuck to be back tomorrow, but I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
All right.
Glad we had this talk.
In the meantime, if you do want to go to Colorado or anywhere else on a private jet, Jet Aircraft can help you. Maybe you travel for business every day or quite often. Ask about the Jet Card for more perks and memberships. There are a lot of private companies out there, but they don't all tell you up front exactly what you're getting, and they don't all do it at a certain level that Jet has committed to. You're more than just a number when you fly with Jet. Their customer care and service is unrivaled. Don't get stranded if your plans change. They're not going to leave you there. There's no surprise fees or hidden costs, no blackout dates that you find out about later. JetNWA.com is the website. Fly private, you and your friends. You can split the cost, go have an amazing trip, maybe even stay overnight. Maybe go to Oxford to the Ole Miss game or some other road game that you want to get in and out of the same day. JetNWA.com to find out more. That's Jet with 2 T's. 877-377-6963. I think football season is going to be an interesting one. One of the reasons is because there really aren't boring games outside of the first game. Yeah. Every game has some level of intrigue to it, and the first game has it just because it's the first game. So the glass half full approach to this schedule is it's not boring.
No.
The glass half empty approach is like, oh my gosh, that's a schedule to navigate right there. But I'm ready to see what it looks like from the portal and all the guys that came in to go with the returning guys, and you know what all the talking could be put to bed, and we can just evaluate the season. But I think it's going to be an interesting year.
I feel that way about just college football as a whole. Like I think it's going to be a fascinating season because I don't think that there's just one or two teams that are so much better than everybody else. Like I think every single team can lose.
Starts next Saturday,
and there are great games. I was looking at this story from ESPN.com. A lot of years we have kind of that 1 week. It's either week 2 or week 3 where it just kind of dies down and there aren't a lot of good games and stuff like that. That's not happening this year. There are good games every single week. Week 2 we have Michigan at Oklahoma, Baylor and SMU, Iowa and Iowa State. Just a rip-roaring good time, that game, if you enjoyed punting. Then week 3, Georgia plays Tennessee, Texas A&M plays Notre Dame, Florida plays LSU. Like it just is going from the start, and I think that's a side effect of the college football playoff is that like all these games every week matter.
You know, it'd be so fun. Besides the damage you're going to do on the Oaklawn Sports app when Bart's Locks come back starting next week. Actually, this week, Friday.
Potentially
as
early
Friday.
as Friday.
Yeah, Friday.
I got to dig
Bart's
in and see
Locks
if there's
are coming
anything,
back on Friday.
I got to see if there's anything worth locking down.
And then you can download the Oaklawn Sports app and make the plays that Bart gives you, and just watch your income soar.
He's got some futures
Your
already
winnings.
on the board.
That starts on Friday this week. Bart's Locks are coming back. Download the Oaklawn Sports app. New customers get up to $1,000 in bonus bets. But you know what I want to do maybe on a bye weekend with you, Bart?
What's that?
I want to go down to Oaklawn, and I want us to eat, drink, and be well and entertained. But we're going to go to the Mainline Sports Bar, and we're going to watch games all day as if we're in Vegas. And then we can actually bet right there on the games. And just have a day like you
Sounds
used
like a
to
great time.
in the old days in Vegas.
Yeah.
You get the card, and you're like, let's do a 7-game parlay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not? Let's put $5 to win
Every
$5,000.
every Saturday, if you're not putting together just like one crazy parlay, you're putting $1 on or something like that to win, a couple grand. What are you doing? Why are you doing it?
All kind of great things happening at Oaklawn. In fact, DJ Williams will be at the Mainline Sports Bar at Oaklawn tonight for his 4th and 5th podcast. Does it every Monday, 6 to 8. Always has a special guest in there. They do giveaways. It's a big time. But when you think about Oaklawn, you need to remember it's a weekend in Hot Springs that you can have a lot of fun with. The only Forbes-rated restaurants you're going to find, the Bugler or the Oak Room and Bar, the Mainline Sports Bar. And I mean, they got the best wings that you're going to find anywhere. And then they've got that 4-star Forbes rated spa that you can't find anywhere else in our state. Oaklawn.com if you want to get more details. And don't forget to download the Oaklawn Sports app so you can bet with the brand you trust. The betting brand you trust. The sports, Oaklawn Sports app. All right, one more time. We got to hit a break. If you want to text, call, anything, we'll talk about what we've learned or maybe how much dumber we got today. And some recipes from the cookbook that Chuck's in next.
Chuck, you've been around a while, and look, I don't mean that ugly, and Bo, you've been around not as long as Chuck.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, if you're struggling to get your Social Security disability, or you're buried in debt thinking about bankruptcy, don't wait. You need a legal team that knows how to fight for Arkansans.
That's why you can trust Cadell Reynolds. Bill Reynolds and his team know how to get results when it matters most. Whether it's personal injury, disability, or bankruptcy, they've got your back.
Dial 866-314-3728 or visit CadellReynolds.com today.
Cadell Reynolds. Make the right call. If you haven't tried a flight by Yuengling, you're missing out on the great taste of Yuengling that is a light beer. It's the next generation of light beer. Get it on draft, in the can, the new skinny cans, and now the new 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle. Perfect for any occasion. It's just 95 calories, and you're still enjoying a Yuengling. Take your beer game to new heights with Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer.
Some moments call for more than just a win. They call for unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you're not just buying a diamond. You're creating an experience that starts the moment you walk through the door. Their newly remodeled space is absolutely stunning, and Cafe B has a personal touch you won't find anywhere else. Their in-house diamond expert makes it easy to find the perfect piece for any occasion, and that purple bag, still undefeated when it comes to saving the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's your story.
Hey, it's Bo, and for me, business comes down to working with people I like and can count on. And that's Teamwork Roofing and Construction. They do what they say, they're on time, and when they're done, it's like they were never there and you have a brand new roof. Built with expert craftsmanship and the best materials. When it comes to commercial or residential roofing, get the customer care Teamwork Roofing and Construction offers. Check them out on their Facebook page, Teamwork Roofing and Construction. Built on quality, powered by teamwork.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
Why deal with the stress of commercial travel when you can fly on your schedule with Jet Aircraft? No TSA lines, no baggage claim, no waiting around. Just you and your crew flying in comfort and style. Whether it's a weekend getaway, a golf trip, or planning your football travel for the fall, Jet makes it easy. Seats up to 9 with a full bar, custom catering, and plenty of space. Visit Jet NWA for pricing and more. That's Jet with 2 T's.
So I spent yesterday, you mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Have you ever won a raffle?
We got to.
Anybody here won a raffle?
Dang right, I have.
Have you really?
Yeah,
What'd you win?
Like a small screen TV or something.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you're just a winner. I mean, Bo's a winner.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, man, it's still hot right now. It was over 100 degrees throughout the state yesterday. You can get a brand new high-efficiency AC and furnace system at Pascal right now, starting at $7,999 with payments as low as $100 a month. No shortcuts, no surprises. GoPascal.com. Professional people, professional service, Pascal Air, plumbing, and electric. So Chuck's in this cookbook. He's never made the recipe. At least that's what we think. We're not even sure he's ever even had it. But, you know, it's a Razorback. What's the Eat Like a Hog?
Eat Like the Hogs.
Eat Like the Hogs. I think it's an excellent idea.
220 pages of recipes from your favorite Razorbacks.
Yeah. See,
including on page 12, Spicy Sausage Meatballs by Chuck Barrett.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to get this. I want to have this book in my home.
I'm gonna order it. Yeah.
And it's out. Can you get one for in studio?
That's what
just to have here.
Yeah, that's what.
Okay, so give me a couple of more that are in there that you found.
I'm browsing the dessert section right now. We could try Granny's Pecan Pie by Ken Hatfield.
Okay.
Perhaps
that sounds like Ken Hatfield.
Frank Broyles has a dessert recipe in here titled Frank's Fudge.
Okay.
It might be okay.
What about you had a mayonnaise chocolate cake that I didn't know.
I don't know where that went.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'm okay with
that. Yeah. I don't know. I'm
Chocolate Gravy and Biscuits by Mark Smith.
We've had that at the roller
Mark
pit.
Smith reference.
Right.
Wasn't expecting that today.
Meemaw's Chocolate Yum Yum Cake by Houston Nutt. Oh, here's the mayonnaise chocolate cake by Bruce Maxwell.
There you go. Mayonnaise chocolate cake.
John McDonald has some date balls in here.
I don't even know what that is.
All right, we'll get it in studio, and then Bart's going to try one at a time, and he's going to tell us about it.
That's right.
Did we learn anything today? Not much.
Well, we learned that Mike Washington plus 6,600 to lead the SEC in rushing this year.
I like that bet.
I love that.
Yeah, I think you've already bet it like moments ago.
Yes, I have.
On the Oaklawn Sports app. Chuck's back tomorrow. We'll try again.
Chevy of Fayetteville has over 200 new vehicles on the lot right now. So if you're in the market, now's the time to make a move. That includes the brand new Chevy Traverse, the Chevy Trax, and all the favorites like the Tahoes and Suburban. And for truck lovers, there are Silverados in stock and ready for immediate delivery. So go see Chris, Mark, Denver, and the team at Chevy of Fayetteville. Together, let's drive.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, price check with Pascal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing you chose the best option for your home. Visit GoPascal.com and with just a few clicks, see how much you can save with the Pascal Price Check. Pascal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
Oaklawn is your hot springs escape. Enjoy plush comfort, upscale dining, and Arkansas's only Forbes 4-star rated spa at our luxury hotel. And with easy access to Hot Springs National Park and sparkling lakes, Oaklawn is your home base for everything the region has to offer. Come stay, play, and get away at Oaklawn, a Forbes Travel Guide recommended hotel. Make your reservation at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
And I listen in every day. Everybody know that. I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
Good.
The Chuck and Bo Show.